I was born in the Lehigh Valley. It's a rich wrestling history area. I grew up with wonderful parents who were kind of heroes to me all the way through. My father was a decorated World War II carrier pilot, no fear. My mother was a great mother. She had all the same gumption that my father had. In her 50s, she became a pilot. She got her master's in English. A wonderful family with two sisters who were delightful, one of whom ended up being my lifelong business partner. And the other sibling was, of course, my brother Mike, who was an NCAA champion. My brother was very special in my career. Having a 3-year older brother who was a good wrestler kept your humility high. During the '68 Olympics, I was 13 years old. He was 16 years old, and that was a special time in our household. And my parents really encouraged us to watch it. And of course, as a 13-year-old, you dream. And so I dreamed big. And that was my defining moment when I decided to try and be as good as I could. At the same time, I set a goal to lose 1,000 times. And that's a big challenge for people to grasp. Why do you set a goal for losing? Winning, I believed, doesn't do a whole lot for you. When you lose, the whole game changes. You get upset. You try and figure out what you did wrong and how you could have done it better. And so that goal, what that goal did was it pushed me up a whole nother level. So instead of wanting to wrestle with high school kids, I wanted to wrestle with college kids. I wanted to wrestle with open kids. It allowed me to progress. Growing up as a young guy with an 3-year older brother, Mike, you got pounded a lot. I got pounded a lot. Then I went to Blair and recruited Tom Hutchinson, an All-American from Lehigh, to come and coach me. I got pounded a lot. That pounding that is that any wrestler knows is a natural part of this sport, created a toughness, created an intensity that allowed me to be dominant. And so I think the greatest skill that I brought was not, boy, that guy's a fabulous athlete. It was not that. It was, boy, that guy will go at you. And that was, for me, that was the home run.
Blair Wrestling wouldn't be where it is today without Lieberman. He was always promoting Blair Wrestling. He drew other kids to Blair. Leaves was very focused. Did he learn quickly? No, he didn't learn quickly. There were a lot of things that he couldn't do, and he was a perfect example of don't let the things you can't do interfere with the things you can do. And he figured out what he could do. I think that was his #1 quality, is his ability to analyze what he could do and how he could beat other people by doing those things that he could do. I have to say that I learned as much from him as probably more from him than he learned from me.
We won the National Prep School Championship my senior year as a team. I won 3 of those championships. And I got very involved in freestyle. So I won the National Junior, what we called the National Junior Open, the National AAU tournament my senior year. So I got a chance to travel quite a bit to Poland and Soviet Union and Outer Mongolia because of that. And that was very special. And it was very special to be at this creation of this Blair Academy juggernaut. I got encouragement from the family as well as from my high school coach to look real hard at Lehigh. And I found a coach there named Thad Turner who probably put more sweat, blood, and tears into my wrestling career than anybody.
Mark did not have the greatest skill level. I wouldn't call Mark a natural athlete. We used to play some summer softball, and we put him as far away from the plate as we could because of his lack of natural ability. But the guy made up for that. He had great intensity. What he didn't know in wrestling, by golly, he found the answer. I guess the best way to describe his character is that the guy was a brawler, and it got great results.
The proudest thing of my career for me is the way I did it. I think I did it with honor, and I think I did it with intensity. I never quit. Wrestling provides an unusual laboratory to challenge yourself. to challenge yourself on integrity, to challenge yourself physically, to challenge yourself mentally in a way that I don't think you find in very many sports. And those challenges are what defines our character. They're what defines our future and what we accomplish and how we do it. The spring of '78, when I won the NCAA championships for the first time, and then I won I drew John Peterson, the Olympic champion, in the finals of the National Open, and I was fortunate to catch him and throw him to his back. So it was over quickly. 2 weeks later, John Peterson and I met in the finals of the National AAUs, and he beat me again. It was the aspect of wrestling that is so relevant to all of us. It is intense, and it is every day, one guy wins and one guy loses. My international career was a lot earlier than most other people. I started going to the National Open as a freshman or sophomore at Lehigh, and I aggressively sought out every opportunity to compete at the open level. I was fortunate to win 4 National Opens. I won a gold and a silver in the World Cup. I won the Pan Am Championships, which were held in Mexico City in '77. And just incredible experiences in Cuba and Russia and all kinds of wonderful places, culturally rich places. That was a big highlight in my life, and still is to this day. It's something I treasure. The business my sister Marianne and I grew started with just 6 airport concessions when we acquired it, and it was losing money at the time. We grew it into 205 airport concessions on 3 continents, the largest of any firm in the world. And it was very special to be a part of that. But all of the lessons that I learned in wrestling were exhibited in my management style, in our culture at Interspace Airport Advertising. I have a wonderful wife who is a basketball star from high school and college days at Villanova. And together we've had 5 wonderful children who are all doing great. And now we have 6 grandchildren. To be inducted into the Hall of Fame as a distinguished member is just a great honor. These are 200 of the most valued and treasured athletes and coaches in our sport. And some of them are my teammates, some of them are my coaches. And it's very special. It's something that I didn't expect to happen, and I'm very honored that it did.